Once upon a time, in a quiet farming village tucked between golden wheat fields and wide blue skies of Kansas, lived a young boy named Jacob Miller. Jacob was kind, hardworking, and full of dreams, but he had one problem that controlled his entire life. He overthought everything. If Jacob had to decide something simple, like whether to talk to someone, try a new opportunity, or even ask a question, his mind would explode with 1,000 what ifs. What if I fail? What if people laugh? What if I'm not good enough? What if I make a mistake? And because he lived inside these thoughts, Jacob often ended up doing nothing. Opportunities came, opportunities went. But Jacob stayed stuck. His father always told him, "Son, the world doesn't stop for your thoughts. You either move or you watch life pass you by." But Jacob never truly understood. One summer, a traveling woodcarver named Mr. Raymond came to their village. He was old, calm, and famous for turning simple pieces of wood into masterpieces. People gathered, admired, and bought his carvings. Jacob loved watching him work, but instead of asking to learn, he told himself, "What if he says no? What if I waste his time? What if I look stupid?" So he just stood far away, watching silently. One day, Mr. Raymond looked up and asked gently, "Boy, why do you look at the wood, but never touch it?" Jacob hesitated. "I don't know if I can do it, sir." The old man smiled. "Have you tried?" Jacob shook his head. Mr. Raymond took a raw block of wood and placed it in Jacob's hands. "Do you see what this is?" he asked. "A block of wood." "No," the old carver said. "This is a masterpiece trapped inside your fear." Jacob stared at him, confused. Mr. Raymond continued, "You're not afraid of failing. You're afraid of starting. Overthinking is the prison that keeps most people from discovering who they can be." Those words hit Jacob harder than any lesson in his life. With trembling hands, Jacob picked up the carving knife. His mind screamed, "What if you cut it wrong? What if it looks terrible? What if you're just not meant for this?" But for the first time, he ignored the noise. He made one small cut, then another. Hours passed. The sun began to set. His hands were shaky, his work uneven. But he had done something he never achieved before. He started. Mr. Raymond placed a hand on Jacob's shoulder and said, "See? Taking action silences fear." Over the next few weeks, Jacob practiced every day. He made mistakes, many mistakes. Some carvings broke, some looked weird, some didn't look like anything. But he kept going, and slowly, a boy who once feared everything began to change. His first decent carving, a small wooden bird, became the pride of the entire village. People admired it not because it was perfect, but because they knew the boy who once feared trying had finally found courage. Years later, Jacob became one of the most respected woodcarvers in the state. His work was displayed in fairs, shops, and galleries. But whenever people asked him the secret to his success, he always said, "I'm not the best. I'm just someone who finally learned to start." Overthinking never protects you. It only steals time, kills confidence, and stops you from discovering your true potential. Most people fail not because they're incapable, but because they never start. Action kills doubt. Action builds confidence. Action transforms your life. Like Jacob, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to take one small step, even while you're scared. Because every great story that changes a life begins with a simple decision. I won't overthink this anymore. I will start.